May 5th, 2008 at 7 p.m. We'll have the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. Reverend Norman Freeman Jr. from St. Paul's Missionary Baptist Church will give the invocation. And we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance with the Police Explorers and Vice Mayor Burgess. Would you all please stand? Is the pastor not with us? Wendy, would you like to give me a pastor?
Father God, we thank you for allowing us to come again to this meeting, Lord God. We ask that your blessings be poured upon this council, Father, and the public, that the decisions that we make today, Father, that they may be in honor of you. Lord God, guide us, give us wisdom so that we may choose correctly. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. I'm going to can't be heard. Over Mars. Present arms.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Forward arms. Right face. Forward arms.
Thank you. You may be seated. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bell?
Here.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Here.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Here.
Councilman McCormick? Councilman Nelson?
Here.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Here.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Additions, deletions, deferrals?
There's none at this time, Mayor.
Thank you. Special presentations. We have with us from the Florida House of Representatives, District 118, candidate Tan Johnson. Vice Mayor Burgess.
I would just like to welcome Tan, and down here he's a candidate running for seat 118 and kind of a newcomer to my face anyway. So he's here tonight to say hello to everybody in the Homestead area and tell us who he is. So Tan, all you.
Good evening to everyone. Most of you I've met very recently for the first time, but I wanted to formally introduce myself to the Homestead Commission, the body, and the city, to anyone that happened to be here. Again, my name is Tan Johnson. I'm a candidate for the Florida House of Representatives. If you have any questions about me, if you want to contact me, my website is tanjohnson.com. I have some cards. I'm assuming at this meeting the only thing you needed to know is that I was a candidate and how to get in touch with me. If you needed more information, please get in touch with me. My information is on the website.
Thank you. We have the Do the Right Thing Award presentation to Homestead Middle School student Gilbert Cruz and Monterey Hill with Councilwoman Sierra. Good evening, everyone, and welcome again. I am so excited to once again be able to be before you honoring students from our very own backyard in Homestead Middle School. Mr. Gilbert Cruz and Mr. Monterey Hill. Gilbert is a 6th grade student in Homestead Middle. Gilbert puts forth maximum effort and is well liked by his classmates. Which one of you is Gilbert? You? Come over here. Hold on to this. Gilbert thrives on being the center of attention and is working hard to channel it in a positive way. Gilbert is honest, and when he does something he knows he shouldn't, he is first to admit it. Very important. Even though he comes from a low socioeconomic background, Gilbert is the main contributor to the 5,000 Role Model Models recent project of collecting canned goods. He brought in at least 15 cans of food and gave some to others in the class so it would look like they were contributing as well. Congratulations, Gilbert. Montre Hill, 7th grade student at Homestead Middle School. Let me tell you a little bit about him. Montre is an ideal student. He is an active member of the 5,000 Role Models. He specifically chose to belong to this club because he feels it will help him grow into the man he wants to become. Through Role Models, Montre helps collect canned goods, read to others, and escort guests who visit his school. Montre is also involved in his church. He believes his faith keeps him grounded and instills in him the values of right versus wrong. Montre credits much of his moral character to his mother. Congratulations. The next award we have this evening, I'm sure most of you recognize this gentleman. Homestead Middle School's principal, Mr. Nikolai Vitti. Mr. Vitti is almost becoming a permanent fixture up here. Homestead Middle School, if you might remember from a previous council meeting, won the award for most improved attendance the first quarter out of the 333 Dade County Public Schools. Well, they did it again. They won the most improved attendance for the third quarter out of all of our schools in Dade County. They might have to build a new wall at Homestead Middle for all their awards. Well, we have someone else. Is she here? This is a great honor. Cecilia McGrath has won recognition of the Reading Coach of the Year of all reading coaches in Dade County Public Schools. This is a huge honor. And Cecilia happens to not only be in the Education Committee, but she also happens to work for Homestead Middle School. Congratulations.
Now, see, can we have this young man's mother come up and stand with her son, because he credited his mother with his success, and so we need Mom to come up here and get in this picture.
Oh, absolutely.
Come on, Miss Flurry.
Come on.
Yep.
Miss Flurry, come on, come on.
One of my reading teachers, too.
Oh, excellent. Well, you need to come in. If she can't see you, okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
As I said before, I want to thank Ms. Sierra for taking the time and effort to recognize the small but important things that happen in our schools. Too often we focus on the negative, and there's so many great things going on in all our schools, especially Homestead Middle. So thank you, Ms. Sierra, for taking the lead and really being active and an advocate for public schools and all schools in the Homestead, Florida City area. I want to especially thank Ms. McGrath. When I came to Homestead Middle and I had to talk about what she had to do, I had always said that she was the best reading coach in the district before she was even selected. She's a one-of-a-kind, excellent skills, expertise, but more importantly, she has a great work ethic, and she truly, truly believes in what students can do, and she didn't need to stay at Homestead Middle. She had opportunities to go to the district, to work for the state, and she has chosen to stay at Homestead Middle and work hard for our kids, and it's unique to find someone with that kind of talent that's willing to stay and continue to work at the school site. So thank you, Ms. McGrath.
Thank you, Councilwoman. We now have presentation to Officer of the Month for February 2008, Officer Pedro Perez. with Councilman Tim Nelson.
Madam Mayor, Mr. Vice Mayor, City Council, Mr. City Manager, I'm Captain Tom Fogley with the Police Department, Course Chief out roll, Major Scott Kennedy, and this is Officer Pedro Perez, our Officer of the Month for February, and his lovely wife, Monica. If I could, I'll just go over some of the things he did for that month. He had a very productive month. He handled 164 calls for service and had several arrests, and actually his total arrests were 12. 7 of those were felony arrests and 5 of those were misdemeanor arrests, but most importantly, they were all self-initiated arrests. These are not calls that he responded to. These are calls, or arrests that he found on his own, which is very important. Officer Perez has been here 2.5 years, and you can see he's doing a heck of a job. I'd like to go over one of his arrests in particular. While he was on patrol, he observed a male and a female looking into closed businesses and trying doors. He began questioning the subjects, and the female had a backpack. He began checking the backpack out, and there were numerous stolen items, along with a stolen firearm that was found to be used in an armed, or was taken from an armed burglary. He got hold of the detectives, and they started checking these individuals out and cleared multiple cases of vehicle burglaries, an attempted felony murder case, and also an investigation for an armed robbery charge. So you can see the individuals that he got off the street were very important. He's done an excellent job. He was nominated by his sergeant, and we are proud to name him Officer of the Month for February. I'd like to present this plaque to you, presented to Officer Pedro Perez for being selected Officer of the Month, February 2008. And also from our local businesses, they have contributed well over $700 worth of gifts. We have Awards Incorporated, donated the plaque, the City Attorneys, a $100 check, First National Bank of South Florida, $50 savings bond. Community Bank of Florida, $50 savings bond. Ferguson's Jewelers, $75 gift certificate. Global Management Services, $50. Logos Incorporated, a $50 gift certificate. Dale Blake Chevrolet, a $300 value oil, lube, and filter. Captain Car Wash, $20 value car wash. Mita Jensen, 2 memberships to the Homestead Community Concerts. And a new one, dinner for 2 at Maya's Creole Cafe.
Oh, nice.
Thank you.
Yes, it's time for me to speak now. Not so much of a public speaker, so I'll keep this pretty quick. First off, I want to thank my command staff, present here this evening, Captain Foglia, Major Kennedy, and Chief Roll. Very indebted to them. Also the City Council and all the vendors for all their generous gifts. This is one of those professions where, first off, I'm going to commend and I'm accepting the award for who I work with on a nightly basis, that being my co-workers and my supervisors, who I have a lot of admiration for. I wouldn't be able to do this job without them. Can't name all my co-workers, but mainly Sergeant Sheila Johnson, Sergeant Tommy Pritchard, and Lieutenant Kevin Kent. I'm indebted to them. They're wonderful to work for, and somewhat cliche, but I just love what I do. I'm very happy that the city gave me the opportunity 2.5 years ago. It seems like it was only yesterday, and I look forward to continue serving the city in the best way I know how, and to continue growing with the city. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. We're done.
It is City Clerks Week, and we have a proclamation in honor of our clerk and as well as all of the city clerks. I happen to think we have the best. Sheila, would you please come up here? Whereas the office of the city clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world and is the oldest among public servants. And whereas the office of the city clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels. And whereas city clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of the neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal service to all. Whereas the city clerk serves as the information center on functions of local government and community, and whereas city clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, province, county, and international professional organizations. Now therefore I, Linda Bell, the Mayor of the City of Homestead, Florida, do recognize the week of May 4th through May 10th as City Clerks Week in Homestead, and further extend appreciation to our City Clerk, Sheila Paul Shedd, and to all municipal clerks for the vital service they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. It's not only me, it's with Sherry and Julia. I couldn't do what I do. We really love what we do, so thank you again for the opportunity. Thank you. Sherry Nelson.
What is that?
The council.
There you go.
Huh?
I don't know. Just take a picture. I have no idea what they're doing. I'm really in control. Thank you. Okay, Mary Dawson.
So you got yours?
Yeah, I know about this.
Recently, our council, or some of our council, attended the Dade Days up in Tallahassee, which is a big political thing up there for everybody to get to know each other and to lobby for whatever we need to do. And evidently, Mayor Bell, I wasn't fortunate enough to make it as I had some other commitments with my other job that day, but evidently Mayor Bell impressed them, and they have sent down an award for her, the Helen Miller I'm Blessed Award, presented to Mayor Linda Bell, City of Homestead, on behalf of Miami-Dade County League of Cities. So we would just like to extend this to you, Mayor Bell, on behalf of everybody there, and tell you thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you. Thank you. And I just want to say I am very blessed. I'm blessed because I represent what I believe is the best city in the United States and the best citizens in the United States. Thank you. Thank you. I will now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. I move it. No second. It's been properly moved and seconded. Any comments or questions from council? No. All in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes carry. Thank you. Public hearings?
Please be advised that the following items on the agenda are quasi-judicial in nature. If you wish to comment on any of these items, please indicate the item number you would like to address when the announcement regarding the quasi-judicial item is made. An opportunity for persons to speak on each item will be made available after the applicant and staff have made their presentations on each item. All testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation. Additionally, each person who gives testimony may be subject to cross-examination. If you do not wish either to be cross-examined or sworn, your testimony will be given its due weight. The general public will not be permitted to cross-examine witnesses, but the public may request the counsel to ask questions of staff or witnesses on their behalf. The full agenda package on each item is hereby entered into the record. Persons representing organizations must present evidence of their authority to speak for the organization. Further details of the quasi-judicial procedures may be obtained from the clerk. In accordance with Code Section 2591, any lobbyist must register before addressing the council on any of the following items. At this time, council members must disclose any ex parte communications concerning any items on the agenda.
Mr. Attorney, just on 6A, I've had some residents with some concerns.
Okay, thank you. At this time, the clerk will swear in any persons who wish to testify in any quasi-judicial item.
Please stand and raise your right hand. I state your name. Hereby swear or affirm that the information I present shall be the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Thank you.
Tab 5, Item A is a final order of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting a certificate of use to allow the operation of a restaurant with on-premises sale and consumption of beer and wine located at 1541 Southeast 12th Avenue, Suites 35 and 36 in the Ottoman Plaza Shopping Center, as legally described in Exhibit A and providing for an effective date.
Mayor, I'll move with a comment.
It's been properly moved. I'll second with comment. And seconded. Ms. Lobos.
Thank you, Mayor Bell. As you know from previous applicants that we have had, I'm always in favor of small businesses doing whatever it is that they need to do in order to have a better advantage of increased sales and whatnot. One of the things that did concern me about this applicant is the activity report, the police department activity report that was attached to it. It was quite significant, and it had varying degrees of crimes that have been reported to this location. So what I did is I called the city manager, and what I wanted to know was clarification whether this activity report, which covers a year, was it just attached to this applicant or was it just to this corner of this plaza? Now, I did receive information that this activity report that was submitted with this applicant is related to all crime in that area located at that plaza center, so not specifically just attached to this applicant. Once I received that clarification, I was okay with moving in favor of approving this applicant. Now, Mayor Bell, I do want to say to the rest of council and the public here that that report to me highlighted, as you know, this plaza is in my district, in District 3, and it did highlight perhaps a problem that we have in that corridor, and I did mention at our prior meetings that I was concerned with what attracted crime to that area. So I did have a conversation with Chief Rowe, and he and the rest of his police department did a report over a 4-month period to see if this activity was at all abnormal to the rest of the city of Homestead. And what his investigation uncovered is that that area has an average of 5 calls per month, which is really not what this police report here represents. This makes it seem like it's a high crime area. So be advised that this area is being looked at. The police department will keep focus. If there's any increased activity in crime, they will do whatever it is necessary to address it with the local high school as well. So I just wanted, I know it's not attached to that applicant, but since it's attached here and is presented as evidence, I wanted to make that comment to make sure that we are aware of any crime in that area. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Lobos. I also looked at the activity report, and you have to take it as a whole because there are so many hit-and-run accident, traffic accident, burglar alarm ringing multiple times, fire alarm ringing, silent alarm, and burglary. So there's a lot more than just crime. It's just the fact that these are activities. So anytime there's an activity that registers as one. So it's not as bad as it seemed initially because I had the same reaction. I wanted to see exactly what it was. So I think I see everybody's heads nodding here. So I think we're all in agreement. We needed to do some looking into this, and I appreciate that. Councilwoman Sierra.
I had just one question. I know that it states very clearly that the beer and wine would not be sold unless there was food purchased, but I also noticed that they do have deliveries. Are they planning on delivering beer and wine if they're delivering food as well? That would concern me.
No, actually the hours of our operation is from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. and they will serve the beer and wine only with the food in the restaurant.
Only on the premises, so there won't be any delivery, because I know they have delivery as well. They will not deliver beer and wine. Okay, that was my main concern because of underage drinking. And thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other comments?
Just, I know it states in the application that they're not going to use the window for liquor, or excuse me, the sale of beer. I just want to make sure the applicant sticks with that through everything and doesn't somewhere down the road say we can start selling a little bit out the window. So I want to let them know, and maybe Chief or whoever, we keep an eye on it and make sure of this if it falls under your jurisdiction. But I just want to make sure that the applicant, understands that there won't, in the future, that that's not going to be allowed also.
Mr. Shahada has a comment.
Mayor and Council, just to add to what you mentioned about the police report, based on discussions I had with the police chief, our police department is very proactive in communicating with citizens, and they encourage people to call the police department versus taking law into their own hands. So when you see the number of calls high or a large number, we encourage people to call us because we want the professionals to take care of business when it comes to law enforcement. And also regarding this particular application, they got their business license, I think, in December 12th of last year, and some of these activities you see they're going back months before. So it's, the code requires us to just report it for that particular location.
Thank you. The public hearing is open. Would the applicant like to present?
¿Quieres decir algo con referencia a presentar algo con referencia a lo de la ventana y lo que están vendiendo y todo lo demás?
Dile que solamente la bebida es para las personas que van a comer sentados.
We just wanted to mention that the liquor that will be sold, the beer and wine, will only be sold.
Could we have your name and address for the record?
Oh, my name is Marisol Martinez, 26205 Southwest 194th Avenue, Homestead, Florida 33031, and I'm here for representing. He doesn't speak English, so I'm kind of
interpreting.
Yes, I'm interpreting.
51407.
And he's from. Do I need to say his address too?
Yes.
Luego puede decirlo en inglés, yo lo puedo decir.
Dile.
My name is Luis Rodriguez, 11407 Southway 244 Terra.
Thank you.
He just wanted to mention that any beer and liquor that would be sold at the premises will only, beer and wine, will only be sold while they're sitting in the restaurant. There will be no other type of sale of liquor, or wine and beer. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any questions for the applicant? No. Would any members of the public like to speak in favor of or against the applicant? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Does the council have a concern about the window? Is there a concern about the window? Because you could make that a condition if you were concerned about it, to make it clear that there will be no sales of alcohol through the window.
Mayor Bell, I thought that had been clarified. Mr. Weiss, I thought that it was clearly stated it was addressed in planning and zoning.
I'm reading the resolution, which is what's going to be a matter of public record. It does say on sale, but if there was a concern about it, we could make it a condition. The fact that it was addressed at planning and zoning is, fine, but what's going to remain after all of this as years go by is the resolution itself. And again, if you're comfortable, that's fine. I just wanted to say that you could add it as a condition if you...
My concern was, when I brought it up, was that, at some point, if it did take place and we didn't make sure that they were clear on it and it wasn't able to, at some point, this would become a point of loitering with people drinking out in the parking lot, and then we all know what that leads to. Not a good environment for anybody, the business or whatever.
Loitering is already prohibited. Loitering is already forbidden. We have a store right literally in that same shopping center where you can walk in, buy beer, and walk out. So I don't want to be redundant. I think it's clear. I think the applicant was clear. I think that this is beer and wine is intended to be used along with a meal, and I think that that's incumbent upon this owner as well to cooperate and not get any complaints, because, you know, if it's seen that they're, you know, just selling beer and wine out the window, that we will be notified immediately. This is Homestead, so I'm very comfortable with it as it is, unless, Mr. Nelson.
I have one question. Is there outdoor seating here for the walk-up window?
That's the one next. There was.
No, there isn't any.
Okay, that answers that.
No, when I was reading it, you know, it wasn't stated for sure, so that was my concern.
Not a problem. Thank you. Any further comments or questions from council for the applicant? Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it. The public hearing is now closed. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Moving on to tab 6, item B, resolution of the City of Homestead, Florida granting preliminary plat and site plan approval for a portion of Pod G within the Malibu Bay Plan Unit Development for a 74,240 square foot commercial hotel on approximately 2.59 acres, and further amending the preliminary plat and site plan approval for Pod H to remove 46 townhouse units located southeast of the Homestead extension of the Florida Turnpike, east of Southwest 152nd Avenue, north of Southwest 312th Street, as legally described in Exhibit A, and providing for an effective date.
I'll move it with comment.
It's been properly moved.
I'll second.
It's been seconded. We will now open the public hearing. Is there a staff report on this item?
Yes. This is a site plan and T-plat approval for a hotel site. It's 5-story, 126 rooms on the corner of Campbell and east of Turnpike. By approving this site plan, you're amending the Pod H, and you're removing the 46 townhouses in the previous application that was submitted. This went before you. You had a commercial, your amendment to the master plan was approved by you a couple of weeks ago, and there is a condition to this site plan. The condition is for proportionate fair share approval. Is the applicant shall execute the transportation proportionate fair share for amount of $129,268.29 within 30 days of approval of this site plan.
Thank you very much.
Mayor, just for clarification, what Ms. Kamali is referring to is in the resolution under Section 6, the conditions, there's a condition that needs to be added. So the 5th condition would be the condition that the applicant shall execute a prop share agreement in the amount of $129,268.29 within 30 days of the effective date of this resolution. If your staff would just like to add that condition.
Thank you, Mr. White. That's been duly noted. Would the applicant like to present their case?
Good evening. My name is Jerry Knight. I'm an attorney and I represent the applicant. My office is at 888 Southeast 3rd Avenue in Fort Lauderdale. With me tonight is Larry Abbo from Prime Home Builders, one of the principals, Jay Hubner, who's the engineer on this project, and George Sapero, also from Prime Home Builders. This application is for T-plat approval and site plan approval for the new hotel that's going to be constructed on this property. It's a 125-room hotel. I believe the brand is Hampton Inn and Suites. The property is located, the project will be located on tracks G and H of the Villa Portofino East plat. I'm sure you're familiar with the location of this property. It's southeast of the Turnpike, north of 312th, on the north side of 312th Street. There will be 46 townhomes eliminated from this project as a result of this construction of this hotel. George, I don't know if you want to hold up the graphic depicting the location of the hotel. But as a result of the reconfiguration of this site and construction of the hotel, 46 of the townhomes that were going to be part of this project are being eliminated. They're not going to be built.
The staff recommended approval of this project. It went to the Planning and Zoning Board, which also recommended approval. We are in agreement with all of the conditions, including the condition that was just added to the resolution, so we're agreeing to all the conditions, or we're agreeable with all the conditions that are set forth in the resolution. We believe we've satisfied all the staff comments, DRC comments, and we're here tonight asking for you to approve the T-plan and the site plan. We'll be glad to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Does council have any comments or questions for the applicant?
I do have one question.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Of 125 rooms, is that correct? How many parking spaces are there on the property? Do you have that count? Because I couldn't find that anywhere.
166 spaces. 166.
166.
That including the handicap spaces?
Correct.
Thank you.
And that is above the requirement.
Thank you. Would you say that into the microphone? I don't think anybody heard that.
That is in excess of your code requirements.
Thank you. Any further comments, questions for the applicant?
Mayor Bill, I have a question.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Driving by the turnpike, I looked over in the direction of the proposed site plan and I saw an existing wall. Is that part of your property or?
Yes.
I'm going to let George Sapero answer that.
And what is the height of that wall?
If I may, the wall is 6 feet tall. It's an existing wall. It was a previous separation between the residential and the commercial. As you know, we're eliminating 46 single-family home sites. And we're incorporating those 46 residential lots into the commercial. We are going to move that wall north to continue using it as a separation between the two uses, and we're going to add new portions of the wall where needed.
Thank you.
It's a 6 foot tall precast concrete wall.
Thank you very much. Are there any speakers from the audience in support of the applicant? And then support or opposed? First support and then opposed. Any speakers in opposition or support? Please come forward. Mr. Geen.
Madam Mayor, member of council, my name is Eric Geen. I live at 450 Southeast 22 Lane, Homestead, Florida. I am fully in support of the hotel project that has been proposed by the developer. I had the luxury of speaking with the developer after last council meeting, and Jay and George were very amenable and understanding to some of my concerns as a resident here of Homestead. As you may or may not be aware, this project currently will remove the road, the current existing road, as Northwest 9th Court, which is a means of egress for the residents from Northeast 29th Terrace. And having the luxury, and in terms with council here, maybe it is ex parte communication, the developer was very open and honest with me about what was to be projected. By removing Northeast 9th Court, the developer is providing a means of egress from Northeast 29th Terrace, which runs north-south, through a parking lot and a gate, which is going to be electronically operated for egress from Northeast 29th Court, through the parking lot of where the hotel is proposed to be done, and where the potential future construction of retail space, which is just going to be north of Campbell Drive. And there there is currently under construction a ingress and egress methodology for getting from the developer's site back onto Campbell Drive. It was explained to me as a concerned citizen that this would be available to the residents of Northeast 29th Terrace so that they could come south down through the parking lot of the hotel and then egress out on the Campbell Drive, which is a benefit to those residents. Otherwise, they would have to go through the hotel parking lot and come back onto Northeast 30th Avenue. I have absolutely no problems with this project. However, I would respectfully request, Madam Mayor and this council, that there would be some instrument, a written instrument, stating that those residents would be capable of achieving that means of egress from Northeast 29th Terrace. And I'm sure that Jay would more than be amenable to showing you his diagrams and his layouts regarding this. I'm just concerned that because the overall plat and the site plan does not technically include this means of egress, that I would respectfully request this council would ask for that, and so that the residents of Northeast 29th Terrace will be well served.
Thank you, Mr. Gein.
Thank you.
Ms. Kamali, I would like to have staff report on the issue that's been brought forth by Mr. Gein and then as well as the applicant.
Sure, we will do that. To be honest, I really need to find out the location of this ingress-egress, because depends, we do have a future ramp that right now we are looking at for the turnpike, and I have to look at some of the minimum distance requirement, as far as and the closeness of the two driveway, yes.
Certainly. Would the applicant like to address the issues that were brought forth by Mr. Gein?
George is going to kind of take you through it, but basically this is the site as proposed that will have the hotel. This is the hotel here. On the original site plan there was a connection that went across here and connected to the main access road. What we're going to do as part of this site plan is to provide a connection here that if someone wants to drive out and come out through Campbell Drive, they will be able to do that without having to drive back along here and connect to the exit road. So that's part of our proposed development of this site. So I don't know what form that commitment should take, but that's our plan.
This is the road that...
Could you please go to the microphone?
This is a road that Mr. Gein was referring to. It's a road that serves the the townhomes that are to be converted into commercial. So this road, it serves no purpose once the residences get removed. Up here is a boundary between the residential and the new, the residential and the new commercial over here. And this would be where the road now ends that used to come all the way through here. Now you still only used to have one way in, one way out right here. And this other board, you can see, shows you the entire residential all the way out to the end where you loop around to come back. And it shows you a situation now with the hotel over here where the road used to come here, and again this was one way in, one way out for the entire development. So now instead of this road looping into this one at the entry, it ends here as a residential road and it starts as a commercial connection. Now, by virtue of this plat, we've been very specific in your site plan. You can check, we have gates here, and we explicitly, in written form, explain what the use of those gates are going to be, that they're automated, that they're going to be for the residents, that they're going to be able to get out. They're also going to be for emergency usage. So that it's already, by virtue of this plat, you're already approving and making sure that that situation is going to be the facts.
Thank you. Any comments from council?
Mayor, I have a question.
Councilwoman Lobos.
On the presentation prior to yours, on that color map, the proposed access road, in your application, you stated that that front area was going to be future commercial. That proposed access road that cuts through the back of the hotel and towards Campbell Drive, no, the other way? Right, you stated that it would go through that front area?
Right.
How is that going to remain there once you start developing that commercial side of that lot?
Well, right now we are already actually building the connection over here. It's a fact. You can drive over there and see it. These are going to be commercial, to be determined to commercial uses. All of this is opened, and you're going to be able to drive through here all the way out to this secondary entry and exit to the overall Villa Portofino East commercial.
So that road will be incorporated in any future commercial development that happens in that area?
Yes, this is being built right now.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Any further comments or questions from council? I think concerns with Mr. Geen. To the microphone. Don't speak until you get there.
Eric Geen, 450 Southeast 22 Lane again. I fully support this development. The only item that I respectfully request that you, Madam Mayor, and your council, Prime Developers is an excellent corporation, and what they're going to do is going to benefit the community, but I'm just concerned that there is nothing in writing to say, there's no written instrument to say that the residents from Northeast 29th Terrace will get that egress. And Jay was quite correct. This ingress and egress up Campbell Drive is actually currently under construction by Homestead Public Works Department and their subcontractors. I'm just concerned that these residents will be guaranteed that means of egress and access. And I understand that Portofino is a gated community, and Jay and I have discussed this previously, and that gate will be open for egress for any member of the Portofino complex. But I'm just concerned that later on, if we change our minds and we decide to go with a different methodology of construction of whatever may come, that the residents of the Portofino project will not get the benefit of that. So that's all I'm asking, Madam Mayor and members of council. But I will tell you I do fully support J and Prime Builders.
Thank you. Ms. Kamali, and I would imagine that staff has analyzed this, and we've had a traffic study on this, and so if I need to know staff's comfort level on this issue.
There is an egress from residential to the site that connects to the hotel site.
There is.
There is already this site. If you look at your site, it's already submitted. You will see it.
that is not, I don't think that's any issue, and is in the site plan. Any changes to the site plan, they need to come back to us with a revised site plan, and we have to have a site plan amendment.
Is staff comfortable if you say to me that there is ingress and egress for the residents of this community, then I'm assured that there is ingress and egress for the residents of this community, and staff has a comfort level and this issue has been taken care of, that I'm comfortable moving it forward?
There is.
I know you can't right now change the site plan, so I appreciate that.
There is to the hotel side. My understanding is Mr. Ginn is asking to the Campbell. That is what, am I understanding you correctly, Mr. Dean?
And right now we're dealing with the hotel.
Campbell, and that is something that, it needs further study. We'd be glad to look at it, but, depends on the future ramp and how far, the ramp is going to sit, and the requirement from Turnpike that is going to allow us to have a limited access line. Can we have access there or not? Those are the issues that concerns me at this time.
Because we're referring to this particular site plan. Mr. White?
I think the simple fix is you can easily add a condition that just says, memorializes that there'll be an egress access point from the residential component to the commercial site, and just list that as a condition. It would just memorialize what's already noted on the site plan for the future.
Very good.
So if you just wanted to add that as the sixth condition, you could easily do that in the resolution.
Very good. Are you comfortable with that?
We'll be fine with it, and just to further clarify, not only is the site plan act very explicitly or demonstrate very explicitly that sort of the plan and other documentation, but we would not be able in the future to get any approvals for those future commercial parcels should we impair emergency vehicles from getting out of the residential portion. That it's just something that
we wouldn't bind you in that way.
No one would allow us to proceed. So you're assured that if an ambulance or a fire truck can get out of there, the residents are certainly going to be able to get out of there in an efficient manner as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. White. Thank you, Ms. Kamali. Any further comments or questions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Legislative matters?
An ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the city's fiscal year budget beginning October 1st, 2007 and ending to September 30th, 2008 by increasing both the revenue and expenditure budget by $27,286,933, providing for severability and effective date.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
Egress.
I'll move it. It's been properly moved and seconded. Any comments or questions from council?
I just have one comment, Mayor Bell. I wanted to thank Jan Smith the other day for really going through and explaining in a manner where I understood very well what was going on and why we were making the changes we were making, and I really appreciate it, because as I told you, numbers make me dizzy sometimes, and they didn't. So thank you very much. You should have been a teacher, or you could be a teacher one day, because you were really phenomenal, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any other comments from council? We'll now open the public hearing. Any comments from the public?
Reverend Jimmy Williams, 550 Southwest 10th Avenue. On May 27th, we will have a town hall meeting.
Mr. Williams, this is only pertaining to this item.
Oh.
We haven't opened public comment yet.
My error. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mayor Bell, let me speak. Mayor Bell, I just would point out that under Section 5, the forfeiture fund, which as you know is money that we take from drug dealers, it's housing.
Good money, yeah.
It's good money that we take has been increased from $1.2 million to $5.4 million. So that's close to $4 million, and that's really happens through the work of the police department, and our office works with them to do that. So.
Absolutely. love taking from the bad guys and giving it to the good guys. Thank you very much for bringing that up, Mr. Weiss. Any further comments? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Now, public comments. Mr. Williams, now public comments.
Thank you.
You're just a little soon.
Just a little late. Jimmy Williams, 550 Southwest 10th Avenue, May 27th at 7 p.m. We will have a town hall meeting with U.S. Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart at 7 p.m. And so we're inviting the council and the mayor to, if you all want to come, you're more than welcome. That's May 27th at 7 p.m. at Greater New Mount Zion AME Church, located at 890 Southwest 4th Street, Homestead.
Thank you very much. Any other comments from the public? Business from the city manager?
Mayor, council members, I just want to announce that the registration for the summer camp started today. It's a 9-week program starting June 9th for children between the age of 6 to 13. It's going to be at the Homestead Sports Complex and the Bell Camp at the Piker Williams Center. For more information, please call 305-224-4570, or you can get on the city website at cityofhomestead.com. These are very successful programs, so we encourage you to register early to reserve a spot. The other thing, our Citizens Academy, the next one is starting Wednesday, May 7th. We have a number of candidates we need, but people could still register through the website I gave earlier in case we have cancellations or for future academies. I also want to mention that Sheila, she stepped out. I was going to ask her to speak, but she received a request from the elections department. They want to send somebody with the new machines for the next council meeting on the 19th to practically display what they have and stick around after the meeting for people to be able to look at the new machines and be familiar with them. I have to tell you a story. Yesterday, I went to a restaurant close to the intersection of Southwest 137th Avenue and 160th Street in the county, just south of 152nd Avenue. And I just stepped out of the restaurant and I hear a crash. 2 cars collided. So I ran to the scene and I took it on my own. I go to see the guy in the car and he wanted to call his family. He was talking. But what surprised me, the first police officer to arrive to the scene was Scott Kennedy.
That is not a surprise.
Of course, it's outside our jurisdiction, but it's just like, where did you come from, Scott? He thought I was the one in the car, but I said, no, it wasn't me. But he attended the person who was in the car until the police from the county arrived and the ambulance and all that stuff. So my hat off, Chief, to the police department and to Scott also in particular.
Thank you for that.
And also I'd like to say, normally I know lots of people come to the chambers and see pictures displayed around these paintings. If you can ban these pictures, these are paintings done by local artists, Art South, and they are for sale, so we encourage you to buy one on your way out. Thank you. I'm done, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Before I go into the reports of Mayor and Council, I have a lengthy report. I just wanted to bring one thing up. We have a press release from the National Conference of Black Mayors, and I thought it was so important to share. The National Conference of Black Mayors is opening a disaster relief fund for the people of Haiti. I don't know if you realize how dire and how desperate it is in Haiti right now. And so the National Conference of Black Mayors has issued a call for donations to its Haitian Disaster Relief Fund as a result of the crippling efforts of the soaring food prices in Haiti.
Now, they're going to be funneling this money directly to the mayors of these different areas within Haiti to make sure that the food is going to go directly to the citizens. So I would really encourage, let me tell you, if something isn't done, what you're going to see is you're going to see an exodus, and you're going to see a lot of Haitians in boats trying to come to the United States, putting their lives at risk on the water, and there was already many that were already died in the water already, and we want to make sure that this does not happen. So I would encourage everybody, spread the word. I've given this to the Miami-Dade League of Cities to be passed out amongst all the mayors of Miami-Dade County, and I thought maybe each council person could dip a little bit into their public relations fund and maybe send a little bit of money. We could do a group collection to Haiti to provide these. I mean, when they said that they're making mud pies, that was not an exaggeration. It's a desperate, desperate situation in Haiti, and so I really think we need to do the neighborly thing and take care of a sister city. So I just wanted to put that forth. Thank you very much. Vice Mayor Burgess?
Very short, Mayor. We are still accepting applications. We still have a couple openings for the Community Image Board if anybody's interested, as we're passing some names through tonight, hopefully. And that's all I have for this week.
Thank you. Councilwoman Lobos.
Thank you, Mayor Bell. I just have a brief announcement. We are happy to announce that beginning May 15th, utility customers will be able to make their utility bill payments at participating Western Union agent locations in the city of Homestead. Payments can be made by cash or check, and there is no charge to you. For an updated list of participating agents, please call 305-224-4888, only 38. Or visit the city's website at www.cityofhomestead.com. And Mayor Bell, as I'm sitting here, I do have a question for the city manager. At the Waterstone Town Hall meeting that we had about a couple of weeks ago, Mr. Shahada, you stated that we did get permission to construct those turning lanes out of the Portofino Plaza. And so I would just like some status on that. It just seems like that project is not moving along as quickly as it should.
Actually, this is so timely because I asked Julio about it, and Julio should have it about it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, basically the consultants for the developers are doing the design for this turn lane. The design is about 90%, and we will submit it to the county for permitting. In the meantime, the improvements that are being done on Campbell Drive will not impact what's going to be done later on, so that everything follows with, in an efficient manner, so that there's no deconstruction that needs to take place before the turn lane is put in place.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That's all, Mayor Bell.
That's good news. They said it couldn't be done. Councilman Nelson?
I have a couple things, Mayor. I would like to thank Mike, our city manager. One of the first things I asked of him and to get done was the street striping from Chrome Avenue all the way to US 1, and it's completed, and you can see which lane you're in. There's less cars drifting across the middle of the road. It's real nice. It's going to make it safer. A few weeks back, the police department conducted their April sobriety checkpoint. We used our bowling alley parking lot. We put through, it was over 600 cars in the 4 hours we did it. They had very good success. They had 3 DUI arrests and 3 other arrests. 26 vehicles were towed and 51 citations. Wow. It was a very busy, they were also short-handed. They only had 12 officers that night. And the officers really had to work. It was a tough night. I also attended last week the South Dade High School awards ceremony for all the high schoolers getting awards to scholarships and other awards, book awards. And last Thursday, me and the mayor and I went to the Miami-Dade County League of Cities meeting in Sunny Isles. We had a nice bus ride. It was nice we didn't have to drive. And it was a very nice dinner. I want to thank them. And I learned a lot. I'm learning a lot. And it was very good. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilwoman Sierra. I wanted to, first of all, thank Ms. Sherry Adder for getting the plugs put on the top of the dais now instead of having to go fishing underneath the desk. Something very simple, but it does make our lives a little easier, and I wanted to thank you for that. I want to share something that I got an opportunity to do last Thursday. I was invited by a lady named Annie Goryeb, who is the executive director of Fabulous Women Doing Fabulous Things. And we went over to our homeless shelter where there's 26 moms that live there. What Annie had prepared for them was a day of beauty, and she got all of the people in the middle are actually the volunteers for the 26 moms and the children that were there with them. They had their makeup done, they had their hair done. She had a professional photographer come out and take portraits of the moms with their children, which they will be getting this week prior to Mother's Day. We had Miss Diana Nelson, who showed up with lasagna and a Caesar salad, and those mom and children just really loved it. And we also had a special gift by Mr. David Suarez, who made special goodie bags with toiletries for the moms. They were absolutely thrilled, and I want to thank you, David, because you're here. And Diana, just tell Diana, thank you very much. It was really a day that was special for them, and it made a huge difference in their lives. The organization is called Fabulous Women Doing Fabulous Things, and their website, if you're interested in getting information, is fabkids.org. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you very much. We have board appointments to the Community Image Advisory Board, the Homestead Community Image Advisory Board. We have Timothy Craig, Elizabeth Mozinski, Rex Olson, and Christina Oliveira. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll move it.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And the ayes carry. Thank you. Congratulations, and get ready to go to work. Okay. I want to announce that we will be having a special call meeting with the military. Mike, what was the date? May
27th.
27th. May 27th, we are having a special call meeting concerning, actually it's just a purely informative meeting with the military, and we're going to be bringing in our expert and consultant that worked on the Joint Land Use Study on the JLUS, as well as the military bringing in somebody that worked on their on the ACUS program. So we are going to be bringing both of them in. It will be about a 2-hour workshop. And rather than just having them come to council and present, where there's no opportunity for questions and answers, and they have 15 to 20 minute window, we thought this would be a much better way to really give the military time, our consultants, their consultants, and we could sit down and it would just be very, very informative for all of us. And while we recognize that this applies to a very small portion of the city of Homestead, it's very important, and it's a very important issue for all of us. So I want to invite everybody to come out on May the 27th at, is it at 5:30? Yes, it's May the 27th at 5:30 p.m., and it'll be great because it'll be open up for questions and answers as well. I have a very special announcement. My daughter, Christy, is now a college graduate. This past weekend in Tampa, she graduated with honors and got to wear her honors sash, and she now has a bachelor's degree of arts and sciences, and she's a religious studies major, and so now she gets to go to work. Now she gets to get a job. So that's what her dad said, go to work or come home. So, but we're very, or come home and go to work. So we're very, very proud of her. She did very, very well. I graduated with a very high GPA, and so I'm just very proud of my daughter. Also, the weekend before that, I went to Metropolitan Planning Organization training, MPO training in Tampa, and it was a 2.5-day training, and it was very extensive, and the notebook is in my office. It's about that thick, and what they did to test us and make sure that we were paying attention and learning as they did, I called it, my slang, I called it transportation jeopardy. And we actually had to play Jeopardy and divide ourselves up into, we were divided into 3 teams of 6. And we actually had the buzzer and we had to answer. So I was the buzzer person and the appointed spokesperson for our team. And by the way, there was the 3 teams, and there was a Jeopardy, there was a double Jeopardy, there was the first round, final round, the final question, the whole thing, and our team won, and we won chocolate. So it was definitely It was chocolate. I told him if I had known in advance it was chocolate, I would have worked even harder. So, but it was great. Last Thursday on May the 1st was the National Day of Prayer, and we had a really nice service right outside here by the pond, and we had 4 local area pastors come, and there was a few songs, and it was just a nice ecumenical service. It was very short. It was about 20-30 minutes, and it was very, very nice, and I appreciated everybody that came out. Also, an ABC news station out of Tampa came about a week and a half or so ago and interviewed Mr. Shahada and myself, and they're going to be doing a hurricane special on ABC News in Tampa and on, how to handle hurricanes, and really with a special, I would say, flavor on hurricane preparedness and how would you prepare. And so it was very, very good, very interesting. We were able to provide a lot of pictures for them. I brought in a big scrapbook that I had done after Andrew and gave them a lot of pictures. So it's going to be very good. And also they got to learn about how our police department in our city works with other cities that are having catastrophes or hurricane threats, that we have this great relationship where we help one another. And so we talked about Punta Gorda and how we have a relationship with them as well. So it was very good. We have been having charter review meetings. We've met 3 weeks in a row, and charter review is almost finished. It's going swimmingly well, right, Richard? I mean, Richard's there, and we're almost finished already. And we had planned for at least 2 months of meetings, and we're almost finished. So we'll be bringing back recommendations to the council for a vote and ratification before it goes to the ballot. So we're moving along very, very well. We have a very good charter review committee. I'm very impressed with our committee. Also, today, I interviewed a candidate for the internal auditor position, and we are lining up more interviews and talk with Marcy at length, and I really want to wrap this up with whatever candidates that we have within the next 2 weeks or so that we can bring a short list and a recommendation to council, and then if council so desires, then council can also interview that final candidate that Marcy, the manager, and I have narrowed down. If council would like to interview that candidate, they are absolutely more than welcome to. So I'm very excited that we're progressing on this and have candidates. We actually had 2 other candidates that we had scheduled meetings for that didn't show up, so I was a little bit discouraged about that, but the candidate I interviewed today was quite outstanding, I think. So if that's any indication of the quality of candidates, I'm very pleased. I'm very, very pleased. Mr. Shahada, did you have anything? You were? Okay. So anyway, that's it for me, and so with no further business to attend to, this meeting is adjourned. I lost my son in my